go. Are we on? Did we? Yeah, we are on. All right, everything's good. Everything's good. Everything's good. Everything's fine. Hey, everybody, welcome. It's FTF Geocacher Magazine tonight on the show. And guys, good news for anybody who's actually here live. Throughout the show, we're going to be giving questions, trivia questions to you guys about the magazine, given from Keith himself, the owner of the magazine, and first person to call in with the correct answer wins the prize. It's gonna be, we got path tags, we got coins, we got subscriptions to the magazine, all this good stuff given away for free. I think we have 5 questions we're gonna try and get to throughout the show. So it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be fun, you guys. But you got to call in to win. Got to call in to win. So heads up on that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So that's gonna be throughout the interview as well. By the way, what time is it? It's 8:30. Chad, you ready?
I'm ready.
Jesse, you ready?
Sure.
Okay, good. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
You want to know how to find it. Seek it out when they hide it. You know it's in the bag when it's an easy grab. But come on, take a chance now. So go, geocache. If you need help, we're right there in a flash. If you got a question, just call in and ask. Uncover the stash. On the Geocaching Podcast. The Geocaching Podcast.
Welcome, everyone. It's Wednesday. It's 8:30, which means it's once again time for the Geocaching Podcast. My name is Scott Burks. We have our co-host Shorted. It's in the next room.
Hello.
Hi. And please welcome to my virtual left, my other co-host, Chaz427.
Howdy, y'all. It's time to discuss our favorite magazine.
That's right, guys. Tonight's episode 809, recorded live on March 20th, 2024, is Let's Talk FTF Magazine 3, our third episode. What FTF Magazine over 5 years. The phone lines are open. Give us a call, 808-468-7924. That is 808-GOT-SWAG. And for your international callers, you can even call us free via the web at callinstudio.com/show/GCPC. But first, Chad, got to talk about Patreon.
Got to pay those bills.
Guys, there are 2 ways to help us out. We talk about this every week. One of them is PayPal. You go to paypal.me/the Geocaching Podcast. You make that one-time donation. Or, Chad,
or
you join the Patreon. Guys, you get extra audio, extra video only available to our Patreon members. You get stickers and pins and coins. Stickers, pins, path tags, coins, all that good stuff. You get the patron-only show. The end of the year patron giveaway, which, oh, good Lord, we just give stuff away. Can't talk about that. It's the end of the year. So if you want to, you can join Patreon. Go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Cachly. Cachly is an advanced geocaching app for iOS. It features powerful online and offline features, including filtered searches, offline maps, and offline saving of caches. Cachly has hundreds of advanced features that will make your geocaching experience just that much better. Get more info at cachly.com. That's CACHLY.com.
Tonight, we're also sponsored by Logwork. Logwork are the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine write-in-the-rain paper. The logbook designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who would rather go cache than do cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
It's also brought to you by FTF Geocacher Magazine. FTF Geocacher is the magazine for geocachers written by geocachers. With 6 issues a year, FTF offers practical advice, hints and tips, cacher bios and milestones, geocaching events, trail tales, and all things geo-related. Find them at ftfgeocacher.com or tonight right here, live and in person.
What you adding?
Well,
you threw chat off.
Sorry.
Oh.
ftfgeocacher.com.
And by the Max Suds Body Company. Max Suds Body Company makes handmade bath and body products from all natural oils and butters. Items such as Poison Bee Gone soap, itch spray, and 2-cent choices of bug spray are all great for outdoor enthusiasts like geocachers. At Max Suds Body, we have you covered from head to toe. Find them at maxsudsbody.com. That's MACSUDSBODY.com.
And by Practical Geocaching. Practical Geocaching sells utility items for geocaching. Our items are made in the USA. We always provide free shipping. Find them at practicalgeocaching.com. That's PRACTICAL geocaching.com.
And by Arted Crafted. Arted Crafted creates unique geocaching themed tees and custom designs for you or your geocaching group with adult sizes ranging from small to 5XL. If you have an idea for a shirt design and cannot find it, you've gone to the right place. Give them the opportunity to show you how they can enhance your caching experience with your own custom design. Visit them at artedcrafted.com. That's ARTEDCRAFTED.com.
And by pattags.com for all your swag and pattag needs. Visit our website to get creative help, to trade or log tags, or to purchase your own personalized pattags. With over 50,000 tags to collect, pattags.com is everything you need to start your pattag obsession. Visit them at pattags.com. That's PATHTAGS.com.
And by Geocaching Adventures LLC. Geocaching Adventures is a full-service travel agency specializing in creating the ultimate worldwide geocaching adventures for cachers and non-cachers alike. What could be better than having your geocaching bucket list vacation all planned and led by a traveling expert? Learn more by visiting us at geocachingadventuresllc.com. That's geocachingadventuresllc.com.
And finally, by GeoGo. Go caching with GeoGo, the geocaching app for Android that includes a Where I Go player, trackable scanner, companion watch app, and county finds database. If you're an advanced geocacher, GeoGo helps with powerful features like nearby cache notifications, optimized routes, offline mode, bulk TB logging, and much more. Learn more by visiting them at geogo.com. That's GEOOH-geo.com.
And as always, you can find links to our sponsors on our website or, Chad,
Or in our show notes.
in our show notes. That's right, Chad.
Yeah, I just zoned out, so it wasn't Shorty Knit's fault there. That was my fault. I just zoned out.
That's all right. Welcome back. We do have some news before we get to the show tonight. So Cashly announced Cashly 8.0 features, Chad.
Ooh.
I know. And good news, Nick, he's coming on the show next month. Not only is Nick coming on the show next month, I think last time we talked, he had a surprise that he was going to talk about on the show if he could get 8.0 out before he comes on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So because he got it out before that, I think there might be a surprise about what's coming, like 8.01 that nobody knows about yet.
Ooh.
And it's a good one, Chad.
Yeah.
It's good.
I think I've heard about
it. So Jesse, why don't you tell us what's coming up in Cashly 8.0?
Well, the biggest change is that 8.0 is going to introduce a subscription-based model. I think it's like $15 a year. It's, nothing. And
instead
with
of
that,
instead of the regular $5, say one and done kind of a thing.
right. Well, right now you pay for the app and then you can pay for offline maps.
Yes.
And then you can, of course, always tip the creator.
Of course.
But with the subscription now, you'll get a lot more at that level, including offline maps, offline searching, counties and regions.
Mm.
Let me say that again: counties and regions. The Lorem Challenge Grid.
Wow, really?
Yep. And then live tracking on the map. I know that's something some other apps do that, as you move along, it updates where you are on the map and live searches for you. So it's constantly refreshing, like as you drive along or something.
Yeah.
Other updates include online draft management, updated user interface, additional filtering, searching, and so much more. Plus, the pro features coming in 8.1. All of that is 8.0. So then
what's a pro feature? Is that the subscription based or
yes, it'll be like Cashly Pro that you have to pay for. So a few more pro features that will be coming a little bit later in 8.1. CarPlay. Multiple user logging. So for example, Scott, if you're out with one of the kids and they're not logged in on their phone, but you have their login on your phone, you can log your find, flip over to their account, log their find.
Oh,
so do you have to enter two messages, or can it kind of use the exact same one, or we don't know yet?
We'll have
You're
to
gonna
ask
find
Nick.
out.
We'll have to ask him.
And then location tracking and importing. So it sounds like it'll keep your track for you, and then you can import that track.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, that's exciting.
I'll definitely go pro.
That's my goodness.
Pro.
That's a no-brainer.
I throw him. I could not throw him enough money for as much as I use his app.
Absolutely. For $15 a year,
Yeah, please,
100%.
please. Okay.
Someone in the gym, Jim Stark, the surprise. He's putting out an Android version.
Never, Jim. Never, ever, 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 ever will he do that. You asked him. He says no. He says no.
Scorpio Red says this is epicer, Cashley.
Okay. Also, Equinox. Don't forget, guys. Between now and Saturday, right? It's find
Yes.
3 caches to get the Equinox digital souvenir.
Mhm.
Can't forget about that, guys.
Between now and March 23rd.
On Saturday, right? Yeah.
Well,
Saturday the 23rd of March.
technically last Sunday through this
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah,
So if
but-
you've already
Right.
gotten 3 since Sunday, then you've already got it.
I haven't.
And obviously, if you listen to the show later, disregard this.
Mm.
But if you're listening to this the next day or the day after, you still got time. And then finally, shout out to the geocaching vlogger. He gave us a nice shout out during his interview with Chad. See, this one with geocaching. With his headquarter interview. Obviously, Chad didn't read it.
I didn't read it.
If you did, it's on the blog. If you did, he says he mentions the geocaching podcast.
Nice.
In his vlog. So thank you, Joshua. Always nice for you to mention us. We appreciate that very much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was a great article too.
Yeah, it was. So guys, we're gonna in 1 minute we're gonna welcome Keith onto the show here for FTF. But guys, everybody new to the show here. Throughout this show, we're gonna start one very, very soon here. Throughout this show, we're gonna be asking 5 trivia questions about FTF Geocacher Magazine. If you know the answer, you gotta call us. It's 808-468-7924. It's right there. It's also scrolling at the bottom of your screen. First person to call in with the correct answer wins. If you are listening, if you're on hold for the question that's asked and you hear the answer, you might as well hang up because I'm not going to take your call. So, but if he's wrong, or she or they, if they are wrong, then keep holding because you may win. He's giving away, I think, path tags and coins and subscriptions, all different things he's giving away. We don't know which is for which question, but you're going to get something really sweet and it's free. And hey, there ain't nothing wrong with free. So let's welcome Keith to the show. Keith, how are you, sir? Welcome to the show. Welcome back, I should say. Back.
Good.
It's your 3rd time you've been on. You've been a supporter of the show from the very beginning, so we appreciate you very, very much since the rebrand back in 2018. You've always been there for us, so we love having you on. First of all, I'm going to start this. I'm going to start this interview saying it doesn't look like you're on a boat. If he doesn't know, Keith is an avid boat guy. He's been living on a boat for years. Doesn't look like you're on a boat, Keith. I don't see water in the background.
Yeah, I said when we were talking previously on the before the show, I mentioned that it looks like I'm in an interrogation cell right now because I just moved into a new home in Leander, Texas, and all my stuff is still on the boat. So all pictures and decorations and pretty much furniture and everything is still back in Port Aransas. I am now a couple hundred miles north of that location. Moved here mainly to be closer to my grandson, who is almost 2 years old now. So it's a very big change, and it's caused a giant delay in the last issue. Actually, I say the last issue. It's the next issue, which is just now being printed and mailed. So if you're wondering why you haven't seen a magazine in a while, it's because I've had a big life change.
And how does it feel to be out of the water?
The thing I miss the most is I used to post photos of the sunset over the water, and they were just beautiful photos. And the photo out of my backyard here just never compared.
I can only imagine. Yeah. Okay. Speaking. So let's get this started. Let's get this contest started. Keith has given us five questions, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. He came up with these himself, and so first person to call in with the correct answer wins. And we're gonna start one right now. This is the first question right here, guys. In which issue did Spartacus appear in a cartoon painting in front of the FTF booth at Geo Woodstock? one more time. In which issue did Spartacus appear in a cartoon painting in front of the FTF booth at Geo Woodstock? If you know the answer to that, Chad, don't say it if you know it.
Please don't put it in the chat room.
Don't put it in the chat. Well, I guess you could,
I'm not.
but you might as well
I'm
follow
not
up,
saying
right?
them. I'm just trying. I'm trying to remember the image, and I think I remember the image, but I would have to literally be pulling out my all of my FTF magazines to thumb through there to figure out what episode what
Which
which
episode?
one
Yeah,
it was.
which one it was?
Yeah, imagine people with giant stacks of FTF magazines running through them right now.
And you can only win once. Can we say we can only win once?
Yes.
One. Okay, one winner per. You can't win twice. Okay, so there you go. We'll wait for the call. In the meantime, we're going to keep going on with the show until we get a winner on that. I will say it one more time. In which issue did Spartacus appear in a cartoon painting in front of the FTF booth at Geo Woodstock? Which issue? All right, so Keith, how are you, buddy? Aside from the big life change.
I am healthy and happy. I just had a medical procedure that confirmed that.
Well, that's good. That's good. And how's the magazine going? How's it been? We haven't had any.
It's I feel like I've neglected it lately because I've been so busy with so many things going on in my personal life. I'm kind of scrambling to catch up all the time. It feels like, but it's doing fine. It amazes me that I've been able to carry this thing forward for over 10 years now. I think I'm going on year 14 now. So
God, yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, when I started getting FTF magazine, I was living alone in my apartment. This is pre-Jesse. Mm-hmm. We've been together how many years? 12 years?
12-ish.
12-ish years. And this is before her. I remember getting the getting it. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember early on I would try to imagine like what are the covers going to look like going forward, and now I've got so many so many covers, graphics that I kind of imagine that going forward there would be these different ones, and they've always come about in sort of a random way. So it's sort of a surprise to me how many different approaches we've had just to the cover image on the magazine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It always is a pretty cool cover,
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, you always have.
And it's almost random. I swear to God, I put the cover together. It's one of the last things I do. I literally go through the photos that I have and the photos that people have sent in, and I decide which one I think would work best on the cover. And it's a very evolutionary kind of thing based on what happens during that particular few months I'm working on it.
That's interesting. And so how often, give me the ratio roughly of photos you've been given to photos you've taken that make the cover?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Thinking back just the last few issues, the photo of a couple of issues back where there's a shadow falling across this cracked sand in a salt flat, that was me. And I just loved the photo, and I was geocaching at the time, so I published it. Probably 1 out of every 6, maybe, I don't know, maybe not that much. I like to publish photos that people send me if possible, because sometimes I get amazing photos that are submitted by the readers. And the funny thing is I never tell the people that I'm using their photo on the cover. So I think it's probably a pretty nice surprise when they see that suddenly, hey, my photo, is what made the cover of the magazine. Mm-hmm. Occasionally there'll be a planned out thing, like I talked about the cover with the geocaching vlogger on it, where he was in front of the TARDIS and
mm-hmm. Sure.
And the time the Back to the Future DeLorean. That was something that was a little more planned out, and it took a little more time to do it. It took some Photoshop skills on my part, but for the most part, it's a kind of a random thing, and Yeah, it's something I enjoy doing. That's one of my favorite parts about the magazine, coming up with the cover.
Up with the cover.
Yeah.
That's the interesting part. And last time we've talked, and we've talked a few times, you did it completely by yourself. This magazine is that still the case?
He would say I could say that, but it would be very narcissistic of me to do so because the content of the magazine is completely submitted by volunteers and readers, and it's a combination of people who just happen to subscribe to the magazine and send in their own stories, and a handful of people who submit things on a regular basis, like Electric Water Boy doing his puzzle primer every issue. The cartoons that are sent in every issue from Beat Sprouts and Professor Zoom, My Greek Odyssey, all that stuff. Those I couldn't do the magazine without all the contribution of both the readers and this dedicated group of people who, with the only thing I offer them is basically a free subscription, and they provide a lot of content for the magazine. So now, in terms of the actual production of the magazine,
that's what I was referring.
Like who puts it together? That's all me, and it's quite an undertaking, and that's why sometimes I'm, as in this particular issue that's coming up, sometimes it arrives a little late.
So it's still you. It's still you doing it. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. I get a kick out of. I saw something the other day about the amount of work that it took to make XYZ magazine, and the number of people, and I'm like, okay. I wish I had that problem. I wish I had a staff of 15 people
Right.
to lay out this magazine, but that's not the way it works.
All right, so it seems like your first question was way too hard. Someone's calling in. So let's see if I can throw an easier question at them. Okay, I'm gonna throw an.
You might also offer them to let them put it in the chat area if they like. If that's
okay,
the case.
Fair enough. What language was featured in the solution to the Go Ask Alice puzzle in the last issue, Geocaching Garb? Again, what language was featured in the solution to the Go Ask Alice puzzle in the last issue, Geocaching Garb? Let's see if anyone knows that one. That one I don't know either. But let's see. Maybe so Keith, I know we've talked about. Is that the magazine you're referring to?
I think that's the episode.
That's the
right?
last issue. Yeah.
That's the last issue. Yeah.
So Keith, we have had you on the show before, but for the people who are new and have never seen this or who haven't watched the other shows because they're relatively new to geocaching, talk to us about when it started and how. How, why.
Right. The when I started geocaching way back in 2008, I learned about it through a blogger that I was following, and so I went out and found 2 caches in 2008, and then if you look at my profile, my longest streak with unfound caches was after those 2 caches. So I found 2 caches, and it took me 300 and something days before I found the 3rd cache. And that's because it was hard. I didn't have a GPS, and it really took the advent of the iPhone version of the geocaching app for me to jump back into it again. So,
really?
But at the time, I really liked the concept. I love the idea that there were these things out there. I mean, it's almost magical. It reminds me of when you're a kid and Christmas is such a wonderful thing. That's how I felt like when I first discovered geocaching. It's like this whole other world was out there. Mm-hmm. I wish I could get that feeling back. But at the time, I remember it in that way. It was like this, oh, wow, this stuff is out here. It's really cool. And I didn't know it existed. There were caches hidden in places that I went to every day and didn't know there was this thing hidden over there. So that struck my interest, and I decided, well, there's got to be a magazine out there somewhere. So I started looking to subscribe to the magazine because I like I've had a lot of interest over the years, coins and things like that. And there was always a magazine you could go out and subscribe to, based on whatever interest you had. And I found out there wasn't one for geocaching. So I also happen to be a graphic designer.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, hey, work and pleasure combined, this would be a good thing for me to start. And I was really nervous about it because I had no idea if it would take off or not. But it very slowly did. It's never made me the millionaire I thought I was going to be when I started it, because I think I mentioned this once before at another podcast, but I had read that there were millions of geocachers out there, and I thought, well, if I can just get each one of them to send me $1, I'll be doing good. But even though there are millions of geocachers out there, there are not millions of people willing to subscribe to a geocaching magazine. So but it was enough to get me started, and I enjoy doing it. It's more of a labor of love than actually a big money maker for me. It's like icing on the cake with my regular salary, with my regular job. But it's never been, what I hoped it would be from the beginning, but it has been a whole lot of fun, and I do enjoy doing it. So that's, if you enjoy your job, you're doing okay.
That's good. Question in the chat room. Someone says, when fun becomes work, it's no longer fun. Is the magazine still fun all these years?
Yes, it is still fun. I get frustrated because I actually work, I'm an advertising director in the Port Aransas newspaper. Even now that I've moved to Leander, I'm still doing that job. So my biggest problem is time constraints. I have to do a full-time job, and I have to do the magazine. It's hard to fit all that in, but I still enjoy it. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't enjoy it.
Okay. We got someone calling right now, and from the last question, I'm assuming it's the second question. And we have got Ken Hartleen in the chat room answering binary.
Hey,
Ken. Is binary the correct answer?
What's that?
Is binary the correct answer to the question?
No.
Okay, it's not. All right.
No.
All right, then I have got a call.
I think they had the wrong issue.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Hold on. I have got. Is this Harold? Hello.
Yes, this is Harold.
Do you think you know the answer?
Yes. The language was from the Karankawa tribe in Texas.
Is that
That's
correct?
correct.
That is correct. All right, Harold. What's your caching name?
Andariego, Andariego.
Okay.
And I recognize that name, so no need to ask for an address or anything.
There you go. You won. Good job, buddy.
I'm a regular subscriber, and thank you, Keith, very much.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Harold. You be well. Okay. You look for that prize. You win. Bye-bye. There you go. You got your first caller. You got your first winner. Excuse me. Your first winner. There you go. So you still enjoy it all these, how many, 14 years later, 15 years later?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's funny. I was looking at my fines for geocaching, and I've been averaging about 40 fines a year.
40 fines a year.
I swear to God, it's strange to me. It feels like I'm doing more, but I am such a casual geocacher. I just kind of like, when I'm in an area, I'll find one cache, when I'm out in the weekend or something. And I just I'm not as gung-ho as I used to be. I was never like a huge numbers cacher or anything like that. I just really enjoy it. And I like caches that are creative, and I like caches that are, I do more virtuals and things like that now than I used to.
Sure.
And it's just a casual thing for me that I enjoy. And the magazine really has become more of my contribution to the whole hobby than anything else. I also love hiding. I get a bigger thrill out of the caches that I've hidden and reading the logs of the finders and trying to be creative with those than I do actually going out these days and caching myself, although I still enjoy both. I'm more of a hider now, even though I'm not even very prolific at that anymore. But that's one of the things I enjoyed most is trying to come up with and that's probably why I haven't hidden that many caches. I actually have hidden quite a few, but a lot of them are archived because I make them so complicated that I can't maintain them.
Sure. Understand.
Or they disappear or something or get broken or whatever. But I enjoy all aspects of this hobby. And it's strange to me looking back that the actual finding of geocaches is the part that I am not as involved with as the other parts,
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
No, it's interesting. Yeah, that is interesting because I mean, you say you cache, you do. I'm not saying you cache, but like 40 finds a year that's not a
big number. Yeah, exactly.
What's the word I'm looking for? That's a casual cacher. Like, you know,
Right.
like that's what's borderlining in a vacation cacher numbers,
That's kind of what I am
and
because I tend to do it more when I'm on vacation and when I'm
funny
traveling.
that, you would.
The funny thing is during the pandemic, 2021, I think I had like 14 finds or something. You would think I would have been out finding them when nothing else to do.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
But
I get it. No,
when you're stuck on a boat in Port Aransas and there's only so many caches in the area and you've already cached it out for the most part.
Oh, I can only imagine. Yeah. Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Now, but now look, are you tripping over them now in your new town? Are they everywhere?
Yeah, the thing that's most amazing to me being in this area is that there are so many event caches popping up all the time. I've been to quite a few event caches in this area, and I hadn't done an event cache in a very long time, unless it was a mega that I went to as a vendor or something.
Mm-hmm.
So did you go to the Elite Day mega that was right there across town from you?
I did. I was there, although I didn't hang out very long. I kind of took off on my own and did a little loop around that park and found a couple of caches like I do, one or two. I didn't spend all day caching or anything like that, but I went and did the little hike around the park and said hi to some people I knew. Electric Water Boy was there. I said hi to him. Saw some of the folks from the Texas Geocaching Association, and so just real casual, and I'm not super gung ho anymore, but I do still really enjoy it.
Have you been? Just out of curiosity, have you even put in that Texas Hall of Fame yet? Texas Geocaching Hall of Fame? Yet?
I have. In fact, I've got
Now you're definitely gonna if you haven't yet.
I was inducted in 2021, so there's my little pat tag.
Nice.
And I actually contacted Dee, who was, I don't know if she's still the president, but she was at that point, Dee Vickery, and had her print me up about a couple of hundred of these things. So I could just leave them behind when I go to caches.
Nice.
Sort of a little ego thing there, but it was unexpected. When they awarded that to me, I didn't even realize they'd done it. So I didn't even go to that particular festival. I learned about it after the fact.
All right, let's throw another question out. Let's throw another prize out there. We've got one. We've got a winner. Let's start. Jess, you want to read the last one? Read the last question.
What issue featured the TARDIS from Doctor Who on the cover?
What issue featured?
We need a number. What?
From Doctor Who on? The number or the name? Or the name, I think.
Okay. Sure.
And after
Colin's way more fun though.
After posing that question, I realized I might have I'd kind of forgotten. There are actually two covers.
All right, well, let's see what somebody
knows.
Yeah.
Artists on them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If anyone knows, you do. So,
I was thinking of a specific one.
So, just out of curiosity, do you walk into an event? Are you bombarded, or people have no idea who you are?
Most people don't. The people that have longtime subscribers will sometimes come up and want to take a selfie with me or something. I had a woman come into my office at the newspaper in Port Aransas, and all the people in the office was like, why is this woman taking a selfie with Keith? It's like the most minor celebrity you could possibly have. Not at all like Spartacus. Spartacus can go anywhere and be mobbed, but
Right.
only a few people recognize me.
Only if that's what. Do you have a name tag on, or you not even put a name tag on?
I don't normally wear a name tag now. I should get some hats or something. You know, I wear a hat from a brewing company instead of having my own FTF hat or something like that. I should do a better job of promoting myself.
Hey, not if you want to remain anonymous. You don't have to.
Yeah, it's not like I'm going to get mobbed regardless, even if they did know.
Like, everybody knows your magazine. It's not like if you're a
Right.
geocacher, you know your magazine.
Well, you'd be surprised how many people don't. One of the problems, and I've said this before when in interviews, and so I'm kind of repeating myself sometimes, but there's such a turnover in geocaching, and the geocachers are so dispersed. They're my subscriber list. Usually, if I search when I'm logging a new subscriber or a subscriber renewing their subscription, I just search for their zip code, and it pulls up one or two people, and that's how I find them. They're so dispersed. Wow. It's so hard to connect with the geocaching community because they're not like they're all in one big spot. You know, they're not, and they're all so different. Even just like their opinions about geocaching, how they geocache. It's such a diverse group of people. It's hard to reach them. I've put out path tags with my geocaching.com or not with my ftfgeo.com address on them for years. I kept thinking that's going to cause the magazine to grow exponentially over time. And there's just so much turnover. I mean, there's hardcore guys like you and I, but there are so many that pop in and pop out and they're gone. And I've got so many subscribers that their last issue was 6 years ago because they did it for a while and then they lost interest. So it's an interesting problem from a marketing standpoint to try to reach geocachers.
A couple of questions in the chat room. Mind you, one person had the question. Where was it? Ken Hartland answered 12. Is 12 the answer to the TARDIS?
12. That's kind of non-specific, Ken.
Non-specific, you don't win. You don't win.
It's 42.
Oh wait, somebody says volume 10, issue 3.
Volume 10, issue 3. Okay, let me look. Hold on. My mouse isn't working. Hold on just a second.
Volume 10, issue 3. Oh, Mike, you totally could have called
that. I thought it was newer than that.
Okay.
Isn't it newer than that?
Yeah, I thought it was newer than that.
What volume are we in now?
13. Well,
what question is he answering?
What issue featured the TARDIS from Doctor Who on the cover?
Oh, okay. Nope. I take it back. Hold on.
Is he answering?
Might be right.
You might have the old one.
Is that an old one?
I had one in mind, but then I remembered that that there was another. So let me look real quickly. He said volume 12.
Volume 10, issue 3.
10-3.
Yeah, he's right. There is a TARDIS on that cover. It's not the one I was thinking about, but he's right. So
who was it?
You win, Ken.
No, that was Mike.
That's Mike. That's
Mike.
Is that Mike T?
Mike Thiesenwitz.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, you win, Mike.
Mike Thiesenwitz. I think it's M. Thiesenwitz, isn't that his cashing name? I think that's his cashing name.
Yeah.
I think M.
Thiesenwitz. We have his address if you don't, Keith. We'll get that to you.
And Keith, we're putting all the winners in the show notes as well. So you
Good
can go
deal.
back and see the winners. While we got this here, I'm gonna throw another one out there.
Oh, it's another Mike, not Mike T.
It's not Mike T.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's Mike in North Dakota.
Oh, sorry, Mike. Oh, I'm sorry. Mike T is like.
I thought the same thing too. Mike. We have Mike and Mike T.
Mike T. Sorry, dude. Sorry,
guys.
It's Mike Gill, right?
All right. We have Gill fam's email.
Is it just Mike Gill? I think that's his last name.
Yeah, right. We got it. I'm sure I have it.
Sorry, Mike. Apologies. Both Mikes. Well, I'm gonna give another question here. Ready, guys? Everybody ready? This is This is for something good here. What is Spartacus's actual full geonic? Geonic? Is that the right word?
Geocaching nickname.
Geocaching nickname. What is Spartacus's
Bionic now.
geonic now? How do you get geocaching nickname from GEONIC? Come on.
Geonic.
Geo Nick.
Put a space or a dash in there. A space or a dash is commanded. Here, I'll put one in there for you. What is Spartacus' actual full geo nickname?
I think you mentioned it the last time you were on the show, either the last time or the first time.
Well, let's see.
But I don't remember what it was.
This is one people should know.
Not yet. Not now. Mike, these if it's sexy doesn't want anything. And then so articles. Do you pick and choose what goes in there? Is that how it works?
A very large percentage of articles that are submitted to the magazine get published. Yeah, unless you're, most get published.
Most get published.
I try to publish most of them. Sometimes I heavily edit them. Sometimes, like right now, there's an article someone sent me that is so long that I can't figure out how to fit it in. I'm either going to have to tell them to rewrite it, go in and edit it.
You sure you're the person for the job there, Keith?
Or I'm going to have to go in and just like hatchet job it myself. And I hate to do that because I don't know what's important to people when they send in a story.
Right.
I try to pick out the parts that I find interesting, but so that's probably the biggest problem with the work I do on the magazine is simply editing the stories that come in. I do a whole lot of, spell check and grammar checking and all that sort of thing, because that's what editors do.
Of course.
And I hope that I always make their story better by, basically removing the things that, readers might not find as interesting and focusing on the things that are funny or interesting. And I don't get complaints. I can't even remember the last complaint I got from somebody about my editing of their story. I think generally the story comes out better as a result of the editing, because it's almost always true that editing improves the story.
Sure, you make them
just because there's people have a tendency to add too much information, and when you read a story for the first time, you can kind of recognize what the hooks, where the things that are actually that other people would find interesting, because you find them interesting yourself. So that's what I try to do. I try to improve everybody's writing, but I don't get so many article submissions that I have to turn a lot down. So if you're an aspiring writer and you want to be published in a magazine, this is the one, because I will
publish it.
I will do my best to get you in the magazine.
All right. We have answers in the chat room. The caller was first. The call was first. Trust me. I checked. And we're coming in. We're coming in hot from Texas. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
We are well.
Who is this?
This is Deal Farms.
Jerry and Joanne.
Hey, guys.
All right. You think you know the answer?
We think we do. We think it is Spartacus 06.
Is it Spartacus 06 FTF?
That's correct.
It's correct. All right.
Yay.
You guys won a prize. Congratulations. Well done. I'm assuming you guys are subscribers to the magazine.
Yes.
We are subscribers to the magazine, yes.
And now are you in Bryan, Texas? Am I reading that correctly? Or is that just where your phone is?
We are close. We are
Pinging.
actually in the town of Wheelock, Texas.
Wheelock, Texas. Where is Wheelock, Texas?
Just north of Bryan College Station, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah,
Chad, you know
bump
where
in
that
the road.
Oh yeah, I know where College Station is.
It's barely a spot on the map.
is? Oh, all right. But an important one. So, all right. Thank you so much for
For
calling
us, yeah.
in. Thank you so much for calling in. Congratulations on the win. Well done. Nice job.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
You be well. Bye-bye. Chad, you got something you want to say? You grab something.
No, I was looking down to see if somewhere around here I've got my Spartacus path tag, and I was wanting to see it, but I should have searched all that stuff up before the show.
Because you found Spartacus, right? Then you got.
I found Spartacus many times and submitted it, and eventually I submitted it enough times that I got to the top of the queue and I got my path tag, and I stopped. I didn't stop searching for Spartacus. I stopped submitting the fines.
I can never find him. Never. Seriously, I can't.
The key for me is getting my phone, putting the camera on there, zooming in, and start going over all the images.
Really? Oh my goodness! Like
it
an old
doesn't
man.
take that long.
There's like 60 pages or something like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
And how? Okay, so let's talk about Spartacus. How does that work? How do you get that? First of all, okay, this is a two-part question. Number one, how did Spartacus come about? Number two, how do you work that into every issue and every picture, for that matter?
Spartacus on issue number 4 or 5, when I first started back in 2010, Spartacus said something about, I'm going to be in it. I've been in every issue. And I thought he had been in every issue, but it turns out he had not been in issue 1. But he has been in every single issue since, from issue 2, volume 1, issue 2, all the way through present. He has been in the magazine. And as I say that, I'm trying to remember if one issue I forgot to hide him. I might have forgotten to hide him in one issue.
Oh, you're kidding.
Frustrated all the readers.
Now that I think about it,
that's fantastic.
I vaguely remember that maybe one issue I forgot to hide him, and I actually awarded tags to people who thought they found him.
Oh, there are times that I see stuff as like, is that Spartacus? No, I'm keep searching. I'll take a quick snap and but
usually
move on and
if
keep
you
searching.
find Spartacus, it's
like when you see it, you know it.
Spartacus.
Yeah.
If you think you might have found Spartacus, you probably didn't find him. Because I thought about doing a specific article all by itself of the things that people have sent me they think is Spartacus. And sometimes it really does sort of look like Spartacus.
Yeah.
Usually if you find him, it's pretty obvious. You don't have to second guess yourself. Once you spot him, he might be small, he might be in a window or behind something or shadow or something. You can make out that it's actually him.
All right.
Tony Golden says he was in the doorway of my Travel Bug Motel on an article I submitted a couple of issues ago.
Yeah, I think he commented that he didn't know Spartacus was at his event.
Nice.
So he needed to add him to the log or something.
All
right. Do you have some questions here? Does he have a subscriber in every state?
Absolutely. Well,
every state.
I would sure think so. Yeah. I mean, I haven't really gone through and checked, but yeah, I would think so. Yes.
At least at one point, you've covered every state. You think you've covered every?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have to have a subscriber in every state.
Okay. And what about overseas?
Many countries, especially over time. I don't have as many overseas subscribers because I can only send it to them via PDF now because it's it's not so much the cost of mailing overseas, which skyrocketed. It's crazy high. People are willing to pay for the expensive shipping overseas, but the regulations have gotten to where I don't want to jump through all these hoops trying to figure out how to mail something to Belgium because the regulations have gotten so burdensome and you got to fill out forms and all this stuff. It's I don't have that many subscribers overseas. There's no, it doesn't make sense for me to go through all that work trying to when I can just send somebody a PDF. And so that's what I've done.
So, Is Germany the biggest outside of the U.S. Or
That's a good question.
or I should say over the across the pond, because Canada might have high subscribership.
The Canadians are very upset with me because they got wrapped into the international stuff too. It's not as expensive to ship to them, but I kind of decided like I can't offer. It's still not worth, or I don't like to say it that way. It's like, but it doesn't make sense to me to send it to Canada with the additional cost of shipping and all that. So they've kind of gotten wrapped into that whole thing too. Yeah. But I'm looking right now. I'm looking at my actual mailing list here, and I'm going to sort it.
Someone's asking, by the way, just a rough guess, how many subscribers do you have? You don't have to answer that.
There's not that many, and I probably should answer because it's very
Not
sad.
that many. Come on, I can't.
My subscribership over the years, like my mailing list right now that I send out to subscribers, past and present subscribers, and I'll just go ahead and come out with it, is about 5,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
And only about 1,000 to, I think my peak subscribership was about 1,800 people, plus a bunch of, I don't know how many people off the top of my head, because I don't really get these. Well, I guess I could get the figures, but some people view the magazine on the iPhone or iPad app that I have.
The
and
iPad.
Some people are subscribing overseas, so that all that stuff adds up. But I'm actually looking here to try to see what.
Are you counting those? Are you counting those people into your subscribers?
What's that?
Are you like
the digital?
Yeah,
like the digital.
I
You're
know how
counting
many
them.
there are.
I read
I don't know how many there are. I literally don't know. I could probably find out through Apple somehow, but it's not such a great number that I'm really concerned about it. So I haven't really tracked it.
So you're
I'm
talking.
I'm not a very good businessman. Like I said, this whole thing has been a labor of love. So I haven't really been super concerned with numbers or, I make a little money off of it. I'm satisfied. So I should be a lot more aggressive in getting subscribers. I should be a lot more aggressive in advertising. And I've just sort of just kind of done it by the seat of my pants the whole time. It hasn't grown like I thought it would grow. I kept thinking that, over time I would get more and more subscribers, and instead it's been the same gung-ho 2,000 people that I've always had.
I'm just wondering,
some of those people drop out, but thankfully, 500 more gung-ho people pop up over time.
You've got a whole generation of millennials and Gen Zs who didn't grow up on magazines. I mean, Gen X, we're the last generation to be magazine readers.
Have you been to a meet and greet lately and seen the age of the people who are?
Yeah, it's all older people. Yeah, it's all older people.
Yeah, it's all people our age.
But there's youngers as well. The youngers. But my point being is that the younger generation aren't reading magazines. That's why I'm surprised there's not more on the apps, on the iPad app.
Yeah. It's funny when the regulations on the international shipping started getting and the rates started getting so high, I offered all those international subscribers a free subscription for a full year if they would let me change from sending them a hard copy to a PDF, and nobody took me up on it.
Wow, really?
People like the magazine. They like having a hard copy. And I feel the same way. It's like, if I'm going to publish my milestone, I don't want my milestone on a website somewhere. I want it in something I can hold in my hand and show to my friends or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is, and it may be our generation. It may just be the older folks that do it. Yeah. But I still love. I work for a newspaper, and newspapers ever say them are going to disappear. Well, I'm still publishing a newspaper, or I'm still working for a newspaper in Port Aransas. We're doing fine. We're still making money, and I'm still publishing this magazine. I mean, people said from the very beginning when I started publishing the magazine, it'll never work. People don't want magazines anymore. Well, they do. I couldn't sell the PDF to people, but I can sell the magazine to people. So it's an interesting conundrum, and it may be that it's changing over time, and eventually people will actually lose complete interest in something that's printed. But it hasn't happened for me yet. My biggest problem is just reaching the people, the new geocachers that are out there that I can't get to because they're so, as I said before, they're so dispersed.
Sure. Well, that's where I think that's where megas come in and working megas,
I used to go to one of my biggest means of getting subscribers of the magazine used to be going to Geo Woodstock. And the whole pandemic thing threw that off, and I hadn't been doing megas for years now. So I'm planning to go to Geo Woodstock this year and do my thing, but even then it wasn't like a huge number of subscribers, but it definitely helped.
Right.
Sure, of course, anything helps. Sure. All right, let's work on the final question here. The final question out for the prize here. One more. Let's see if anyone gets this one. This one looks tough. Chad, you ask it. It's the second question.
And which issue was Lucky Annie Love Camino de Santiago story? I would walk 500 miles appear.
When did it appear? Which issue was Lackey Anna Marie Love's Camino de Santiago story? I would walk 500 miles. Let's see if anyone gets that. That's tough. Keith's like, oh, these will be easy. These are throwaways.
Well, like I said, if you have a stack of magazines,
you got to thumb
only a matter
through
of
them.
time before you thumb through it.
Yeah. So I remember reading that
yes,
article, but
as well. Yeah,
I couldn't tell you which issue it was in.
I tell you what, I read her story. She sent that in to me, and it really 2 issues later, I was walking the Camino myself. So it was a big part of my life.
I'm going to talk about some of the cool things that you have in this magazine. Issue 1 was actually trackable, correct? Was it issue 1?
Issue 1?
Was it the first issue ever? Wasn't that trackable?
I don't think so. At some point in that first year, I introduced the idea of the gold seal trackable.
Yes, the gold seal trackable. Wasn't that
I
the
was
first
thinking
issue?
of it sort of, but I don't think issue 1 was.
It wasn't issue 1? I thought
I might have. I don't remember now.
I thought it was. I had that. I had a trackable. I had a gold.
Trackable? Okay, maybe so.
I thought it was. I thought it was a premiere. I could be wrong. I thought it was. Somebody in the chat.
You may be right, because I don't remember exactly. I know it was in that first year that I introduced that idea. I was thinking of the Willy Wonka golden ticket kind of idea, and I thought, well, that'd be neat, a little gold seal thing that, to add a little extra value to the magazine.
Yeah, and I think it's worth some money now too. I think people look for that magazine, and I had it and I gave it away. Gave it away, Chad.
There were only 300 of those.
I think I literally, I think I paid it forward. I think I put it in the cash.
Well, good for you. That's cool.
I wonder. I have to go back and look. I wonder if I ever did the trackable. I don't even know. I think I did. I think I actually did. I'm sure it's now in somebody's bookcase. I'm sure someone's like, "Thank you." Also, you still have the trading cards going on? You used to have the trading cards.
I do still do trading cards. There's an ad in every one of the things about if you buy one of the trading cards, you eventually end up in the magazine, because I basically put the people's trading card in the magazine as part of the ad. I change it up every month. Mm-hmm. So that's still going on. I think I'm up to 50 or 60 or something now. And there's been 3 different series of the trading cards over the years. But lately I've stuck with the same design. They're still out there.
And it's something somebody can get a trading card of themselves. And just, it's for giveaways, right?
Yeah. And it's also got a Discover only trackable number on it. So basically it's like my own geocache or my own FTF cards. they have a trackable number that you can discover on the back of the card.
I'm assuming the number's the same on all the cards.
Yes, it is,
Okay,
because
I figured that.
that would be difficult to do.
And expensive.
And expensive. Yeah.
Keith, GSM times 2 says, please log your will attend in registration. Registration for Geo closes in 11 days.
Get off my back, man. Do it.
There's
You
still
want to
11
get
whole
your
days.
shirt in GeoCoin, don't you?
Yeah.
Please log your will attend.
Okay, I'll do it.
Look at them calling you out right on the show, man. That's
Calling me out on the show. My God.
Again, no one's entered the question out. I'm going to say it one more time. Which issue was Lackey Annie Love's Camino de Santiago story? I would walk 500 miles. Which issue was it? Guys, this is for free stuff here. Come on. Oh, Glenn Morton says volume 7, issue 3. Is that correct?
Let's see. Yep, that is
It was
correct.
correct. All right. Congratulations, Glenn. Glenn Morton. Do you know what Glenn's caching name is?
NP Glenn.
I know it is. I'm asking Keith.
Oh.
Who Glenn is. I know who Glenn is.
We haven't-
NP Glenn, Keith, is the cashing name of that person who just won.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Glenn's a
It's-
long-time subscriber.
It's in that team show notes if you don't.
Yeah, definitely a long-time subscriber.
A long time subscriber. So yes, I answered. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, it's Glenn. Glenn wants to talk to us apparently.
Yes, it is.
Hello.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Glenn. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. What's up, man? Hello.
Are you there?
I'm here. Hi. What's up?
Oh, there you are. Great.
What's up, man? You won.
Yeah.
You won. We
Not
just
too
said you
much.
won.
Oh my. Well, that's a good thing.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I've been a long time subscriber. I'm a Patreon, and I've had several articles in the magazine. So it's a great magazine. I'll continue to get it.
Thank you, Glenn. That's nice of you. You going to are you going to Midwest this year? We're gonna see you.
I'll be at Midwest, and I'll be at Woodstock also.
Oh, nice. Good. All right.
Yep. Hope to see you guys at one of them.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Oh.
We'll be at Midwest. And Chad, you gonna be at Woodstock?
That'll
Yeah,
be
I'm going to be at
Woodstock.
Geo Woodstock.
If you see Chad, you gotta yell his
All
name
right.
real
Yeah.
loud.
Look,
Yell his name real loud,
I'll
okay?
catch up.
Yell his name.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Good job. You won.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Scott.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Keith. So you got the trading cards that are still going strong.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you got going on the side?
Oh gosh. No, just trying to get the darn thing out for within a reasonable amount of time. Every issue. I think my life is going to settle down a little bit now that I've made the move. So hopefully I can get back on track and be a little more consistent with the delivery of the magazine. But yeah, everything's. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I guess I could mention the fact that the topic of the next issue is going to be basically using your geosense. I posted a photo on Facebook where I had these it was a light post behind me. And it looked like I had little antlers, or no, not more like feelers,
Yeah.
And I mentioned the fact that I could sense that the cache was nearby, and people seemed to like the photo. So I thought, well, what about using your geosenses? We all. I have a bad habit of going to a cache and expecting it to be in the place where I would hide it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So my geosenses often lead me astray because it's like they're skewed to where how I would hide something.
Sure.
So my question to readers was, when have your geosenses failed you, and when have they succeeded? And I don't know. I never know exactly how many answers I'm going to get to one of these questions. If it doesn't, resonate with readers, I may change the topic. but that's the current topic right now. Using your geosenses. Have you ever gone to a cache and thought, well, and then suddenly had an epiphany and like, oh, this is where it's at, and actually been successful in finding it.
Sure. All right. Look forward to it.
And there are hiders. I believe there are hiders out there that will intentionally place it where geosenses are going to go off at maybe 1, 2, even more locations, and they're going to hide it in somewhere where your geosenses says no. Nobody would hide it there.
And that's why the muggles find those, or the little kids,
or the newbies. The
noobs.
The noobs.
Yeah.
The noob will walk right up to it, and we'll spend 20 minutes there because we're looking at all the spots.
Not where it should be.
Exactly.
It's not where it should be.
And, yeah, and sometimes that's very intentional on the part, as you said, on the part of the hider. One of in the current issue, the topic was gone but not forgotten. I was asking people to mention or to send caches that they loved that have now been long archived. And one of my favorites was from a local cacher named JMCZ, who is now passed away. But it was called Shell Shocked there in Port Aransas.
Yeah. And
he went out and got like a 5-gallon bucket of seashells and went and poured them at the base of this post out in the salt flats there in Port Aransas. And the hint was it's in a shell. So we went to the cache, my son and I, and we're going through all the shells. We can't find it. Shell. There's hundreds of shells out there at the base of this post. And finally, we notice a little hole in the back of the post, and there's a shotgun shell stuck in it. That cache was famous for people, for its misdirection. And people would gripe about it. It's gone. I looked through every shell and go back multiple times. And, that's part of the fun of geocaching.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yep.
Here, Jesse in the chat room, Mike says, Jesse can relate to this very much. I have a bison tube in a tree directly behind an LPC.
Yes, sir.
Jesse, what happened when you did that for one of your caches?
Well, people assumed it was in the LPC and they kept dropping, thinking that it was missing.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd go pick it up.
That's
not where it was, and people kept replacing it.
Replacing the dropped.
I eventually gave up, and whatever. It is what it is. The community demanded that it stay in the
LPC. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing when you go to one of your caches and there's you find 3 different logbooks sprinkled around the area. It's like, what in the world?
Me and Jesse were on the side road once. Where were we? Iowa? Well, I found 3 containers.
We were we were at
we were on the
Cheetos Trail of Challenges out in Iowa, and yes, there were 3 containers.
At a lamppost.
No, not that one. It was like in the cornfield, like at the edge of the cornfield.
Right. Yeah. What was it? A tree? Where was it?
No, it was just on the edge of the cornfield.
Right. It was like I'm saying. It was a post, like a.
Oh, I thought you said a lamp post.
Telephone pole. Utility pole.
A telephone pole. Yes. But yeah, within like a foot of each other.
Yeah, literally right next to each other. It was crazy. Yeah.
It is kind of a rush when you find the original container.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Jesse just found one. That literally just happened to Jesse last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yes, it did. And yeah, there was one tucked in the guardrail, and I turned around and I saw the original container sitting on the ground, like 6 feet away. Oh.
So have any of you found a cache accidentally? I was I stopped at a roadside art thing and looked down at the fence in front of me, and there was a geocache just hanging on the fence. It's crazy.
Right, like one that isn't live yet, or one that like you didn't know.
It was live. I just didn't know it was there. I stopped to look at this other thing, and my geosenses kicked in.
That happened to Scott and I walking along a path, and I looked over and I saw a container stuck in a fence. And I was like, that looks like a cache. And we're looking at our, at our GPS going, no, there's nothing there. So we went and
Puzzled.
checked it out, did some research. Nope, it was an archived cache.
Was that Tom
Archived
Sawyer?
cache,
Was that Tom
okay.
Sawyer?
That might have been at Tom Sawyer.
Tom
I
Sawyer.
think you might be right.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
we're
On the way to Tom
on the way
Sawyer.
back. I think it was on the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found a puzzle cache at 1 a.m. in the middle of a park, gator infested park in Houston, and as I'm crossing over a creek on a rotted log, and I reach up to steady myself on the limb of a tree, and there is a container hanging there, and it's like, so let's see, this is a geocache, and it's like it didn't have the GC number there, but it had a bunch of signatures and dates, so took a picture of it and figured out which puzzle cache it belonged to, and then solve the puzzle and verified.
Oh, we've done that a bunch of
Yes.
times. Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've
That's
done
fine.
that.
I just did that. Remember, we
did.
We were out hiking in the woods, and there's a big open area, like no caches, and someone's like, "There's got to be a cache here," and so me and Jesse literally like jumped into the trees, and sure enough, there's an ammo can. I'm like, I found it. There was an ammo can right there.
Yep, it was a puzzle.
It was a puzzle, yeah, which we got. Yeah. Okay, we could do this all night, but it is past the time. Keith, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you.
so much for being a sponsor of the show. Again, sponsor since the very beginning when we rebranded back in 2018. Super appreciated. Magazine is awesome. Still going strong. It's good to see it still going. Sorry to hear you're off the boat, but glad you're closer to your grandson. That's good.
Absolutely.
That makes me happy.
He is a cutie, man. That kid's cute.
Nice.
I hope so.
if you're not friends with me on Facebook, check out my Facebook page. I've got videos of him. He is so cute.
So Keith, you be well. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping by. Oh, really quick. Somebody had a question here. I'm sorry. I saw it. I didn't star it. Are you going to do a mini mag for Geo Woodstock?
I used to do those on a pretty regular basis, but again, kind of after the pandemic, we kind of got out of the habit of it, I guess. So I'd be willing to do it, but I think at this late point, it'd probably be difficult to pull off. But if anybody is out there who wants to, has a mega coming up, yeah, we can make it happen.
All right, Keith. Thanks so much, buddy.
Thank you.
Where can people find your
your
magazine if they're looking?
So sorry.
FTFGO.com.
FTFGO.com. Go subscribe, guys. It's a good magazine. It's been around a long time. It's a good one. All right, Keith, you stay right there. We'll be right back. Okay? You stay there. Chad, speaking of megas, Chad, it's mega season.
Is it?
It's mega season, Chad.
Ooh.
Which means next week. Next week, Chad,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking the 2024 mega season preview. We're talking all megas the whole year.
A whole year.
We got to do research, man. We got to find all the megas around. Everybody for who is not in the USA, and you are listening to my voice, you have a week from March 20th, 2024. Shoot us an email or hit us on social media. Tell us about your megas in England, in Australia, in Germany. We want to know your megas. We don't want to miss any of them because we're going to talk the whole 2024 mega. Because I don't think any have started yet, right? Have I missed one yet? No, we missed Bamarama, didn't we? Bamarama's happened.
We've missed.
Almost Texas Challenge was last weekend.
That was last weekend. God,
yeah, we've missed a couple.
I tried to get it before
they were early.
Yeah, they were super.
Those southern states, man, they can do it
like
all year long.
No winter, we're 7 degrees year round. Yeah. So yeah, that's next week, guys. The 2024 mega season preview. You're not gonna miss the show. It's gonna be done. It's gonna be good and done, and that's all. All right, guys. Everybody, thanks for calling in. Could you contest winners? Congratulations, Keith. Always a pleasure. Everybody, in the chat room was great tonight. Thank you so much. Everybody, be well and safe. We're going to close the show. Please join us again every Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central as we stream live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on our website, geocachingpodcast.com. The archived video versions of our podcasts are available on our website or on our YouTube channel, and the audio versions are available wherever you find your favorite podcast. If you like the show, please head on over to Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe. We really appreciate it, and it really helps the show when you do. If you prefer to watch the show, make sure you click that subscribe or get notified buttons to know exactly when we go live. And hey, if you haven't already, please consider becoming a patron of our show. With tiers starting as low as $5, you will get a ton of additional information, extra video, extra audio, only available to our patron members. Please head on over to patreon.com today and subscribe. That's patreon.com/thegeocachingpodcast. Thanks once again to our sponsors, Cachly, Logwork, FTF Geocacher Magazine, the Max Odds Body Company, Practical Geocaching, Art and Crafted, PatTax.com, Geocaching Adventures LLC, and GeoGo. Please visit our sponsors, and when you make a purchase, you tell them the GCPC sent you. That's all we got this week, so we'll see you next week talking geocaching, taking your phone calls. In the meantime, be good, be safe, hug your loved ones, and we'll talk to you guys next week. And we're clear. All right, guys, thank you so much for ending the stream. Everybody be well and safe. Bye-bye.